Okay guys, it's your girl Miss Kimberly J back again for another video. This next topic I'm going to get into is something that was requested. I've gotten requests in my inbox from subscribers, from friends, from strangers, from everybody on Facebook as well about this, because I've been quiet about Bishop Eddie Long, about that whole scandal. I do recall I did a video, I think sometime towards the end of last year, when the whole scandal thing kind of first broke out and hit the news. Before they really, knew. It was just like the first allegation. And I did make a video about that, so you can always go back and look at, I think it says Bishop Eddie Long scandal or something like that, somewhere in one of my other videos, a long time ago. And I was very objective at that time because, we didn't know a lot. The facts weren't out yet. It was just an allegation. And I do understand that, quote unquote, innocent to proven guilty. Unfortunately, in our society, it's more like guilty until proven innocent. But I was trying to be objective and open-minded, but still keep, an open mind about it. I never put anyone on a pedestal to say what they can and cannot do. I don't care what position they hold. I don't care what religion they are. I don't care what they claim to believe and what they say about how they live their lives. I do understand at the end of the day, we're all humans and nobody is above the law. People are capable of more than you think they're capable of. So I was open-minded about it. I didn't say he did it, didn't say he didn't do it. I was just like, I don't really know enough yet, but I did give my take on what I felt should happen if he was guilty or if he was innocent. Well, I think the verdict is in now. This is old news now. Like I said, I hadn't been on YouTube, so y'all got to forgive me. I'm gonna have to catch up slowly on some stuff, some of these requests that I've missed out on. So my take on the Bishop Eddie Long scandal now. Before I tell you what I think, I'll say this. I remember when I was in grade school, and we were learning about context clues. We were taught about how to use context clues to help draw a conclusion and help, figure some things out. And I was really, really good at that. Very good at analyzing, really good at, taking everything in and making a logical conclusion. Okay, so if I were to apply those same principles to this Eddie Long scandal, I would have to say that after listening to all the statements, hearing all the reports, listening to what he had to say, the couple of times that, statements were released, there are a few things that stand out in my mind, okay? The first thing that stands out for me from way back when the scandal first broke out was Bishop Eddie Long. I remember him I may be paraphrasing what he said, but this was the gist of it. He basically said he was going to fight this. That he was going to fight the allegations. And he kept repeating that he is not the man that is being portrayed in the media. He's not that man. He never came, in my opinion, I never heard of him ever just come out and say, I didn't do it, in those words. But that's what implying it. I mean, I think it was implied, him saying, or not admitting it, or kind of denying the allegations in a sense, by saying, I'm going to fight this. Because if you're guilty of something and you're willing to accept and stand up and accept for responsibility for your actions, I don't think, if you have good intentions, you're not going to say publicly, I'm going to fight this. You're going to fight something if you're innocent, or if you're trying to proclaim your innocence, okay? So that's the first thing. So when all of this happened, I was expecting Bishop Eddie Long to do what he said and fight this. And that didn't happen. Didn't happen at all. He settled out of court. Maybe we'll never know for sure the true amounts. I've heard ballpark figures of between $20 and $25 million was the settlement that he paid out to those 4 young men who accused him of those acts. And I thought to myself, if I was not guilty of those types of allegations, and I've made statements that I'm going to fight this, I am not that person that's being portrayed, would I then turn around and pay any money, whether it's millions or whatever? Would I pay $20-25 million so it doesn't go to court and I don't fight it when I said all along I would? Absolutely not. I wouldn't pay that money if I was innocent. That's stuff you do when you're guilty. When you feel that maybe after making all those statements in the beginning, your lawyers or whoever got some information or got some evidence that's going to look really, really bad and make you look guilty for sure if you go to court. So let's just squash this. Pay the money. You don't have to go to court. Going back to your life. So having said all that, my context clues have led me to believe that, yeah, he was guilty. He was guilty, and he, like a lot of people do with money, bought his way out of it. A lot of people will argue me, how dare you say that? This is a man of God. And I'm all about honoring people and honoring the man of God. But I think that every person, regardless of their position, is responsible for their own actions. Nobody's above the law. And you need to own up to what you do. Hands down. Whether that's Bishop Betty Long or a regular person walking on the street. We all need to be responsible and held accountable for our actions. So, I think he did it. Sadly, I think he did it. And I'm not going to say anything about the people who continue to support his ministry and go to his church and all those types of things. The only question I have for those people is, what are you thinking? I know somebody will say, oh, nobody can judge. You can't judge him. All have sinned. That's very true. But personally, I would have a big problem sitting under a ministry when I feel as though that maybe they don't feel that. Maybe they're completely brainwashed and they don't look at things like we look at it. I don't know. Only God knows. But I do think he did it. And I think it's an unfortunate tragedy. But, it's a lot of that going on now, which makes it just worse for people in church and people who are church going, people or Christians, people who believe, because of scandals like that make it look bad, like, for everybody. So I think it's sad situation. But that's it. So y'all tell me what y'all think. What did y'all think about that whole Bishop Betty Long thing? The whole, now that it's over with. Y'all think he did it? You think he didn't do it? I could be wrong, but I think he did. Y'all let me know what you think.